This morning. My name is John Kinsey, and I've been asked this morning to give a little background on why we're all here today. You know, certainly those of us in Chattanooga have realized for a couple of decades that we've been working very intelligently because we had a long way to come, and we certainly are moving along in that direction. But we still have a lot of work left to do. I will, you know, what really started this initiative is by now I know everybody is aware of the tremendous resource that EPB has provided this community with the fastest fiber optic system in the world and the smartest smart grid in the world. Joe Ferguson, the chairman of EPB, is here. Harold DePriest. I'm sure Harold is here. If I don't see him, but he's probably out working. That's just the way Harold is. But you know, without, I mean, we, for the first time in our history, have something that everybody else in the world wants and nobody else in the world has. And so that. Well, and Harold and Joe and the other board members at EPB said, now that we have this great resource, how can we maximize the opportunity for Chattanooga to grow economically? I see Sarah Morgan here with Lyndhurst. Thanks to Lyndhurst, they provided some resources to try and get the word out to the world, what we have, and to try and move this effort along. Myself, Ken Hayes, and our company was recruited to try and coordinate this effort. And as part of, and so many of you have already been involved in it and will continue to be so. As part of this effort, as Chattanooga always does, we're trying to find other ideas. We invited Robert Bell with the Intelligent Community Forum to come down, and he came back during the summer. Many of you were at a luncheon that he did. We had an opportunity, myself and Rick Hitchcock, to spend some time with Mayor Littlefield, and Robert Bell said, Mayor, you should apply for the Intelligent Community competition. So here we are. And I will say this has been a very coordinated effort, both city, county government. I see Senator Corker here. You know, the senator was the first person I called when approached about this to make sure it made sense, and because what a great job he's done. And the Chamber of Commerce has been spearheading this effort, and with that I'm going to turn it over to Jed Marston.
Thank you. I'm going to keep this very brief, but I wanted to paint a picture of what this initiative is all about. And I think it's important to recognize that EPB is the cornerstone of this effort, but as we were applying for this Smart City initiative, or this Smart City designation, AT&T and Comcast came to the table. They're also investing millions of dollars in our community to improve our technology. And that really is the keystone of this project, collaboration. And we know that that's one of the things that Chattanooga is really good at. So looking at our community, it wasn't enough just to have infrastructure. We had to show that we are using it in a smart way, and indeed we are. Since about 2002, when I came to this community, I've been charged with chronicling particularly the good things about Chattanooga and telling that story across the nation. And I have to say I was surprised by how good this story was. When we went out to the marketplace, we had collaboration from over 30 organizations who helped us shape out this story. You have UTC and Chattanooga State and Hamilton County Schools, all integrating knowledge workforce components into their curriculum. Tens of thousands of students every year coming out of the schools with technology-oriented skills. Somewhat that will surprise some people, the Hamilton County Library, over 250,000 people each year access broadband. And that's one of the fundamentals of this particular initiative. It's not enough that a few people have access, it's important that all do. And through the Hamilton County Library, and also CARTA. I think this is a really cool initiative and we're all aware of it, but when you're riding on CARTA, there's wireless mobile access, and over 1,400 people access that each day. One of my favorite initiatives that's kind of been taken for granted for many years is all the way back in 2003, AirNet Group, a private company, wired up the parks so that people could have wireless access. So when you're in Coolidge Park, Ross's Landing, the airport, and this is an example of the private sector coming forward and doing something that really didn't benefit them economically, but benefited the whole community. So with that, I just want to give a little bit of an overview. The main event is really introducing Robert Bell, who's going to make some brief remarks and officially give us our designation. And to receive those remarks, I'd like to ask Mayor Littlefield and Mayor Coppinger to come to the podium. They'll speak immediately after Mr. Bell. Let's give them a round of applause.
Well, thank you very much. Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Excellent. I hope you all don't have as many feet of snow on the ground as we do here in the New York metro area. I'm very pleased to be here with you remotely instead of in person. I'm here because ICF studies how communities around the world use information and communications technology to build prosperous economies, to solve social problems, and to preserve and often extend their local culture. And this is important because we're living in a very different world I grew up in. It's a world in which being connected is actually becoming more important than being in the right place. Where innovation is becoming powerful in good old-fashioned production, and where the skills and knowledge of our people is turning out to be our greatest natural resource. And communities everywhere are facing a simple choice: to adapt to that reality, to seize it and make it their destiny, or to stagnate and to go into decline. And I'm very glad to see that Chattanooga has made its choice. Since 1999, we've been producing an international awards program that honors communities that are leading the way in the intelligent community movement. And it's through that program that we at ICF get the research data that, on what works and what doesn't work that we share with communities around the world. The point of that program is not to win a nice trophy, although we do hand out some nice trophies. It's not to highlight where you're in cities and towns, as much fun as that can be. The point of the program is to drive transformation. It's to build momentum for the changes that need to be made to keep your community a great place to live, a great place to work, a great place to live, to raise the next generation. Now, our process is not an easy one, as the folks there who were involved in it will tell you. We research communities and we accept nominations from communities around the world. We name 21 of them as what we call our Smart 21 Communities of the Year, but that's just the beginning. We then make them do a lot of homework. It's a long and difficult questionnaire they have to complete. That questionnaire is evaluated by a team of academic analysts who provide us with detailed scoring. The top scoring ones become our top 7 intelligent communities of the year. And then, well, we do it all over again to select one of those contenders. I'll help her in June, which will be June 3rd this year in New York. An independent research company reanalyzes all that data and gives us new scoring. I and my fellow co-founders visit the 7 communities. We write reports which are then reviewed by an international jury that I'm glad to say is out to some 200 people around the world. They vote. We combine that vote with the score from our research company, and then one of 7 outstanding cities or towns becomes our Intelligent Community of the Year. It's an amazing process, and I look forward to June 3rd when we actually see it all come to a conclusion. I was very privileged to visit Chattanooga over the summer and to see firsthand just how much you have accomplished in the last 2 decades and how much you plan to accomplish in the coming years. So it gives me great pleasure to say it officially, to offer you my congratulations to Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is just one of a handful of places around the world to be named as one of ICF's top 7 intelligent communities of the year for 2011. I remember when I was there in the summer, I said that one of the characteristics that we don't talk about very much about intelligent communities is they tend to have a lot of pride, and that was one of the first things I noticed in Chattanooga. It's well earned. One of my colleagues will be coming down there soon to do a formal site visit, to write his report, and in the meantime, I wish you just the best of luck in this contest, even though as far as I am concerned and my colleagues are concerned, as far I think as the intelligent community movement around the world is concerned, you are already winners. Thank you.
Well, what great news. Back during the days of venture and vision and all of that, we used to talk about being on the short list of progressive communities. And how could we get to that list of progressive communities? And being one of 7, I would say, in the world, is a good short list to be a part of. Now, the fact that the Power Board has done what they have done has put us ahead in so many ways. And I find myself now, when I travel or when I don't travel, approached by leaders of the world's businesses. I'm awed by some of the people who are curious about Chattanooga. I was sitting talking with the heads of, the 2 heads of a major world-class corporation. And the individual said, I want to know about what's going on in Chattanooga. And I told them about the fiber optics, the smart grid, the gigabit capability. And he looked at me and he pointed his finger and he said, and you actually extended it to every house and business. And I said, every house and business. And he said, wow, I've got to come to Chattanooga and see what's going on there. I've had that experience in Europe. I've had that experience in Australia. I've had that experience on a number of occasions in Washington, D.C., where you encounter leaders from all over the world. It's a heady time. And even though the Power Board is a city-owned utility, with all that's been happening with this, I said to Claude Ramsey while he was still with us, you know, it's a good time to have 2 mayors, because we were being approached by so many news sources, so many national news wanting to talk to the mayor of Chattanooga, that Claude and I had to divide it up, and he would cover some and I would cover the others because the interviews overlapped so much. We've never had that kind of coverage, that kind of attention. The short list, 7 smart cities in the world, and Chattanooga's on the list. And we don't want to be just one of 7, do we? We want to be number 1. And we do have 2 mayors, but we don't have a divided community, because the new mayor of Hamilton County is someone that I've known and worked with for many, many years. And here he is now, Mayor Jim Coppinger of Hamilton County.
Good morning. And again, thank you for joining us for this announcement of Chattanooga having been named in the world's 7 smartest cities by the Intelligent Community Forum. We would like to thank Robert Bell and the ICF for this prestigious title. Honors like this allow us to showcase our technology that has made Hamilton County community and the companies across the world turn and look at Chattanooga for the technological innovation and the superiority that we currently have. We take great pride in the Electric Power Board's home to network that delivers fiber capabilities up to 1 gigabit, it's a gigabit I should say, as it was mentioned, for our internet speed, extremely important to us. We are the nation's first in the nation to be able to offer this innovative service, which gives our entrepreneurs and the people that choose to come here about a 5 to 10 year head start on any other city in the world. Hamilton County's data infrastructure has been cited as a key reason for Amazon.com and the Home Services of USA to invest more than $92 million in this community and create 1,300 new jobs. Doctors like Jim Bush have utilized the area's superior broadband capacity to, and I quote Mr. Bush, provide expert readings on medical images sent from a variety of hospitals, physicians' offices, and medical centers throughout the Southeast, end quote. Hamilton County's 77 schools provide broadband and internet access to 42,000 students from kindergarten to the senior year in their high school. The Hamilton County Court Clerk's website, it's called courtclerkanytime.com, has been enabled to service 54,000 residents of Hamilton County to handle some of the things that you see, which are the tags, driver's license, business applications, and even marriage license. And our Chattanooga Chamber Development Center, Business Development Center, now houses 60 businesses, which employs more than 300 people. And most importantly, our investments in their success have led to their success, where 90% of the BDC companies have been in business now for 5 years or more. Obviously, this is just a few of the innovations that we've done here to earn this prestigious title and the reason that we're here. And we're letting other people know how great Hamilton County is as a result of this, of something that we've known for quite some time. But as you know, we have a video presentation to show, and it's worth more than 1,000 words. So at this time, I'd like to ask you to look at the presentation.
So proud of it, especially since Volkswagen came down here. Amazon's coming. It feel great that I live here.
How could I not? It's been tweeted everywhere. It's been on the web. Everyone's talking about it. It's so exciting.
I did not know that.
I think they've really revitalized a lot of the downtown area and have put a lot into the waterfront and Main Street and Chattanooga have, in the last 5-10 years, changed dramatically, and there's a lot more arts and local artists, but we also have drawn in some national artists coming here to do shows.
Make a choice.
For our young people in the way of careers and incomes and lifestyle.
I think this is a phenomenal place to be. I've been here for 20 years now, and I've had several opportunities to leave and have made decisions to stay simply because I like the town. It offers a lot on a lot of fronts. Socially, business perspective, there's never been a better time to be in Chattanooga for me.
I did some traveling and saw different parts of the world, but I really felt like this is one of the best vibrant young communities to be a part of, and I just didn't want to miss it.
This morning we got a pleasant surprise when we learned that our U.S. Senator Bob Corker was in town and able to join us. So please join me in welcoming him to the podium.
Well, it's good to be here, Jen. I thank you for making me aware about 6 o'clock this morning. This was I want to say to all of you, each week I look forward to the 2 o'clock direct flight on Friday back to Chattanooga. I think this community is awesome. And it's such a privilege to live here. This week I had the bonus of being able to catch it on Thursday instead of Friday. And I'm so glad to be with all of you. These kinds of experiences I miss greatly. This community, I don't think those who sort of live here and see the tremendous changes that happen on a daily basis realize how unique this community is. In my present capacity, I not only travel the state, but the world, and certainly the country. And it's just phenomenal to come back home each weekend to this city and see all the wonderful things that are happening. And as has been mentioned, this has been going on for about 20 years or more. And it's been amazing how our local leadership, both in the private sector but in the public sector, has been able to build on top of what the successes of the previous folks have been. It started with Dalton Roberts on the county side, on through to Claude, and now to Jim Coppinger, and on the city side with Gene Roberts moving on through to John Kinsey, and now to Ron Littlefield. And certainly tremendous leadership in the private sector, as has been alluded to. I'm so glad that John Kinsey and Ken Hayes are involved in promoting this effort. They should be. I hope John and Ken are involving, and I know they are, many of the young techies that are in this room, because I know they don't know anything about that. But I hear that they are and know that they are. You know, when I'm going to hopefully have the opportunity to talk to the gentleman, Mr. Bell, who's giving us this award, I really want to emphasize how incredibly smart we are as a community. The way we've dovetailed things together is just really remarkable. When you think about the fact that we had this vision at Enterprise South, we built the infrastructure through multiple administrations. We had multiple governors working with us. We changed the chamber from into a world-class recruiting organization. They took the charge and followed through. We've done unbelievable things in our downtown area. I mean, you look at the 21st century waterfront, but you also look at the south side. It's just an amazing thing that's happened in that regard. The outdoors, the way we built on our outdoors. One little vignette, I was down at the Everleys on Cherokee Boulevard getting tires on my car when I was mayor. And I bumped into this gentleman who had moved here because of the outdoors. He was in technology. But the way that promotes young people coming to our community is incredible, and we just continue to make greater strides in that regard. Being the first city in America connected to the Oak Ridge National Lab computers, bringing the Sim Center here, and all that y'all have done with that. When we were in the mayor's office, we thought this digital idea was something that was interesting, and we created something called MetroNet. I don't know if y'all remember that, and we caught a lot of grief over it, and we realized that we quickly were outrunning our skis. We had no idea what we were involved in, and so candidly, just to escape being embarrassed, if you want to know the truth, we had begun sort of looking at fiber throughout our community. We came over to see Harold DePriest and asked him if the Electric Power Board would consider taking on this venture. Well, did they take it on? It's been an amazing thing what the Power Board here in Chattanooga has done under Harold DePriest's leadership. And what they have done to cause, as Ron so eloquently stated, what they have done to cause our community to be unique in this world. So let me just close by saying this. I cannot imagine living in a more progressive, intelligent city. I cannot imagine being in a place that is more enjoyable to come to in the downtown area. I cannot imagine living in a community that has, on top of all the breakthroughs that we have and our vision of the futures that we constantly achieve. Most communities have a vision of the future, but they never achieve it. We have the unique ability of not setting plans on a shelf, but actually achieving those goals. I know the Chamber is involved in a new visioning process that I'm sure will become a reality. But I also want to say this community is unique because of the heart and soul that our citizens have here. The way that we not only move ahead in ways that we're talking today, but we also are constantly looking at the needs of all in this community. And I think that causes people to want to be a part of the greatness that exists here in ways that are almost intangible, but you see it happening. You see it in the caring nature of our citizens. So with that, I'll stop. I've spoken way too long. They'll never invite me to another one of these meetings. The only reason they really invited me is there was no room at the courthouse when I became mayor to move in, and I had to move into this building. It was such a shame. And so they knew that I was going to be watching. But thank you all of you for what you have done to make this community so unique. I am constantly proud of it. It is no understatement what Ron says. My foreign relations activities take me around the world, and when they find out I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, it's almost as if it adds a spring to their step when they want to talk about it. So thank you for the greatness you've achieved.
And now I'd like to close with a recognition of an opportunity and a challenge for all of us. Part of the reason we started this whole thing is because when we began promoting what's going on in Chattanooga technology-wise, we were talking to some brand name companies whose names I will not mention, but the response we got back was, really? Chattanooga? And we realized that we needed some third-party independent confirmation, some way of building our credibility, because we're just not branded that way yet. We're fast becoming branded that way, and one of the things that I ask all of you to do is, this logo is available on a Facebook page called facebook.com/SmartCityChattanooga. I ask you to fan that page so that we can communicate with you about what's going on. This is an opportunity to put it on your website when you're recruiting employees, when you're recruiting students, to brand this community and talk it up. You know, next time you're on a trip, feel free to work it into the conversation somewhere. That's one of my favorite things about Chattanooga, is there are so many evangelists who are, I would call them semi-professional. They're very good at it, but they don't get paid. So with that, when you leave, we've got a little brochure that's got some information and got the website on it. I ask you to grab that and enjoy your day. Thank you.